I'm using the new fancy templates that Eugenia created for us. So for today's demo, let's start by reminding us why we are here. And this is our mission for now. It's that we ensure that a growing number of users have an empowering and delightful experience with Stacks app and assets. And this should tie up to our mission as a company, right? And the way we're doing this during this quarter, at least, it's by doing a bunch of things, mainly get Stacks 2.0 finally out of weeds. And our main focus at the moment is working on the wallets, both the extension wallet and the desktop wallet. So during the past 2 weeks, we have done a bunch of things. Some of them are really, really impressive that you're going to see. On the desktop wallet, we've added a new feature, working with a feature from the ecosystem. He needed to allow users to limit the amount of cycles they wanted to delegate. So that feature is going to be out soon this week. There were some Ledger updates that are super important because users were having problems with Ledger, and especially with Windows. And then on the web wallet, we've done improvements on the CI. On the build is lightning fast at the moment, as well as some really, really nice UI improvements. And there are updates on the design proposals that we have for the transactions. So with that, Karen, do you want to start?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Andrés sort of gave a bit of context there. Firstly, Frika and a few other people really wanted to use the until burn height. There are a handful of reasons why you want to do that, if you trust mostly. So now there is a feature in the delegation mode where you can choose to stack to delegate indefinitely or for a limited period. There is a selector, basically just adding this one field to the transaction. The ledger work, there's not really much to demo as it's just working, but we've had a ton of issues coming in from Windows users saying it doesn't work and that there are a handful of problems. And I've sort of done a bit of a code refactor and just change around to follow a few more best practices. And it works nicely now. And the only feature I can really demo that's new is the detection that your device is locked. So it's a bit of an edge case scenario that this would happen, but we can tell them that they need to do it. And if I unlock, it goes away. Yeah, so hopefully this will be launched today or tomorrow.
Yeah, fantastic work. I'd say probably Gina and Mark are going to be really, really, really happy about this one, especially. Cool. So next is the web wallet. Hank, would you like to start with talking about the CI improvements?
Sure. I don't have a demo ready for that. I didn't know anything else, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, I think the biggest thing to talk about there is that we finally got out of a pull request, which was there for various different reasons, but it was just causing a lot of issues and confusion. And the last remaining step before sort of merging that was updating our CI. So now on our repository, the code that's on app.blocksec.org has moved from the master branch to a branch called app.blocksec.org. And then the Stacks wallet for web is now on the main branch, which is the default branch now in the repository. And the repository has been named Stacks Wallet Web. Really nice step forward, something we've kind of talked about, but just sort of finally did it. And so I think it's great for people to come to the repository issues, just running the repo itself.
Yeah, just the name itself, it's huge. I mean, UX didn't mean anything. I was actually looking for that for 2 days when I was hired, and then I found it.
Yeah.
Cool. So maybe, Thomas, you can show up the building improvements, especially the UI improvements. I would like to see like before and after you have them open.
Yeah, I think, Hank, did you want to do the before?
Sure. Let me just show you. I'll just pull up what it looked like sort of 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so I just installed a kind of older version. And so, yeah, this is what it looked like. Some things that you'll see have changed. I mean, a lot has changed, especially on the type side of things. The banner up top has changed. All the stylings and the whole header has changed. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going to kind of click around so you can sort of see kind of vanilla QR code. Nothing very exciting here. A lot of that you'll see on the news that you should pay attention to on the newer builds is like spacing. So like, see how I'm scrolling, but like there's this white space and, the button's certainly not aligned. It's just kind of weirdly spaced. It's like that on a lot of pages. When I switch accounts, it's got this weird hover state. There's no, there's no icon, which you'll see. Let's see, here's what the send page looked like before.
I think the screen share doesn't update anymore. I think.
Yeah, it isn't.
That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. It's frozen from
I think
I think it just stopped.
Yeah.
Zoom would like to record that. I guess it didn't let me, but I had it already set up. I don't know. How about did you guys see any of that?
Yeah, we saw some of it for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you all remember it was, it was uglier than it is now. So yeah, Thomas, why don't you take it from there? My Zoom's like broken. I'm going to
can you stop
join.
Yeah.
Am I screen? Is it? Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay, there we go. Okay, I can share my screen, hopefully. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to demo two things. First, I'm going to demo some kind of, there's a lot of work that I did kind of on the build tooling aspect of things. And so the kind of easiest way to see that without looking at the code is just to kind of build the old version and build the new version. So we can build the old version.
Hey, Thomas, the font is super tiny. Your monitor is huge.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Well, you don't really need to, you don't have to actually read anything. You just have to kind of watch, and I'll let you know when it's over. So it's building. Okay, there we go. 35 seconds. It's done. Now I'm over in the new one. Can run build. Now you have this nice little progress bar. Shows you all the stuff it's doing. It's interactive, engaging. Now it's done. There we go. So it's building the same application, but the tooling is way different, and there's some optimizations for kind of bundle size and a whole bunch of other stuff. So lots of time saved. And then kind of additionally, outside of just like the actual like production build, I implemented, so there's like this concept of hot module reloading, which basically allows for an application to be aware of kind of if you've made a change and then kind of like inject the new version of it into the application. And we had a version of this kind of before, but it would reload the extension like from the base all the way over. And so if you were like on a page that was like many layers deep, it would reset to the beginning. You'd have to kind of go through the whole process again. Whereas now you can make a change and it'll instantly update and also persist that state. So you won't have to kind of like navigate through the app or recreate kind of where you were previously. So that should save a lot of time too. And then moving over, I can kind of demo the new extension. So here it is. You can kind of see the full version 2. Did some work kind of related to build tooling where now we're outputting kind of 3 different versions. One for if it's in like a full page tab kind of context. One for this kind of pop out, and then one more for when maybe like an app opens it and it's an actual new window. Here we can sign in. I have.
It's very sharp password. And then here's just kind of the new homepage. There's a new kind of PR that's also updating a lot of the design around this too. But I did some work on kind of improving the animations around kind of various interactions. Kind of just taking what Jasper's done and try to implement it here as close as possible. Yeah, still some things broken, still some things we need to work on, but I think a lot of really good progress. So.
Yeah, this is amazing. Not only that it looks great, but the amount of time we're going to get by just the built-in speed and the efficiency that gets, it's going to be great. Cool. And then the last thing for the wallet is like where we are at, we just seen. So where we're going is that what Jasper is going to share now.
So last week or two, we've had like three team meetings where we reviewed the transaction signing UI, and this is where we landed. So when you do a contract call, this is what you'll see, and the first implementation looked something like this, and then the first design we had like half a year ago looked something like this, which was missing a lot of info. So up top right here in the header, new thing is you're seeing your account, your basically a local label of your account, plus your address and your balance. And then you could hover it and see your entire balance, entire address. And then this title section is taking the title from the function you're calling. So let's say there's a function in the Swapper contract called swap tokens. We put that here instead of a generalized signed transaction title. And then we have two tabs. We have transfers, which shows you basically all the post conditions as part of this call, and the advanced tab would show you all the arguments, etc. And in this section, the post conditions, you'll see the token you're either transferring or receiving, the amount, and then the full name of the token, and then where it's going or where it's coming, or who is sending it to you. And then right here below, it's kind of an affirmation of the post condition where we basically write out what it means. And then you could have two, for example, and then this is how it would look. Of course, this pop-up would overflow and grow like this. And if it's an NFT, you can show the NFT name plus its unique ID. And of course, the affirmation doesn't include the amount. And then for all these post conditions, we got all the permutations written right here in this component, plus a combination where, let's say, you combine two post conditions and it becomes a range between two amounts. And then at the bottom, we have just a little footer with the fees and everything. And then there could be an error. The fees could be sponsored. And if you go on testnet, there's this orange tag. And then in the advanced view, we add the option where you could add another transfer. I'm just going to take this out. And we show you basically a list of all the functions, the function you're calling, and a list of all the arguments. And this will link to the export. And then what's more, we have similar for like a vanilla token transfer and a contract deploy. If there's no post conditions, we will have like a message that says no transactions will be made, and like the icon and everything. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Jasper. All right. So this was all we have to show today. Is there any questions?